Check sound. Check, check.
So I'll go to Facebook first, because my phone carries the Facebook better than YouTube.
It is a chilly, brisk night here at Dick Cardinal Stadium as we await the start of the Lakewood Cougars girls soccer team hosting the Anacortes Seahawks in Northwest League action tonight. We're bringing you the live stream from Dick Cardinal Stadium on Facebook and on YouTube Live. When we last saw the Cougars in action, they were very competitive in a 3-1 loss to the Blaine Borderites. And no, they went up to Blaine and lost in Blaine. The last time they were here, they went down to defeat to, I can't remember, to their Northwest Conference opponent 3-1. It was a group that featured 4 prime players from the Ferndale Golden Eagles that played select ball, and here we are tonight. We also have a couple of players from the Seahawks that also play select ball. We're excited to bring you to the action as the Cougars have been very, very competitive this year. They've been led offensively by Jasmine Graham, number 10, as she works the right flank. And also then their defensive stopper in the number 6 position, wearing number 12, Angela McDonald, and of course their center back, who's been number 9, Kiana Ose. Against Ferndale, it was a missed penalty kick by the Cougars in the first 15 minutes, which would have allowed them to get on track and onto the scoreboard first. Instead, it was answered by a Golden Eagle penalty kick, which resulted in a 1-0 lead, and then the Golden Eagles got 2 more goals off set pieces for the 3-1 victory. Jasmine Graham got a goal and really should have had another one by McDonald when she kicked one in from distance, and it looked very clearly to us like the Eagle keeper was standing inside the net when she caught the ball. Captains are now meeting at midfield. Sydney Parlin on the announcements, and she is going to introduce the starting lineups.
Wear your masks, sanitize your hands, and maintain social distances of 6 feet or more. The officials for this contest are registered with the WIAA. Their experience and integrity qualify them to administer the rules of the game. Now let's introduce our team, starting with our visitors.
So PA announcing.
Goalkeeper number 1, Claire Schnabel.
Goalkeeper Claire Schnabel.
Senior midfielder number 3, Alyssa Digweed. Junior midfielder number 4, Brooklyn Brichta. Sophomore midfielder number 5, Gise Morgenthaler. Junior midfielder number 6, Brianne Morgenthaler. Freshman forward number 9, Hannah Pylon. Freshman midfielder number 8, Naomi Nogard. Junior defender number 9, Morgan Berard. Junior forward number 10, Emma Foley. Senior defender number 11, Faye Fenhall. Junior midfielder number 12, Aaron Kennedy. Sophomore defender number 14, Kalia Stevens. Junior midfielder number 5, Jessica Oliver. Junior forward number 18, Madison Wakefield. Junior forward, number 20, Cameron Kerr. Senior midfielder, number 21, Sammy Dermot Newiz. The Seahawks are coached by Gretchen Hansen, assisted by Sammy Schwetz. And now for your Cougar lineup.
And that's the Seahawk lineup led by Gretchen Hansen,
Senior
history
forward,
teacher.
number 3, Miranda Harrison.
Miranda Harrison, number 3, starts
Senior midfielder,
up
number
front.
4, Kaylee Chang.
Kaylee Chang will be in the
Senior
midfield.
midfielder, number 5, Amy Opliger.
Amy Opliger.
Sophomore midfielder, number 7, Riley Westbank.
And Westfang, who we see working the left flank.
Number 9, Kiana Oos.
Kiana Oos, number 9, anchors the defensive back line. Jasmine Graham, number 10, working the right flank, who will be your most offensive player. Kalon Buckley will be in the midfield, number 11. Angela McDonald in that number 6 spot, playing wearing number 12. Butcher right outside fullback. Layla Thomas pairs with Harrison up front, using her speed. Coming off the bench is Heavenly Brown. Sarah Skrgood. Aurora Fitzsimmons will start out on the left flank and will be the left defensive back. And then also coming off the bench, Kalia Hennessy and Jessica Garcia. And the goalkeeper is Jolie O'Connor. So again, Harrison and Thomas up front with Chang, Westfang, Graham in the middle with McDonald, and then the 3 defensive backs.
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
The defensive backs, Oos in the center with Fitzsimmons on one side and Butcher on the other. We've seen a lot of competitive soccer tonight out of these girls, but we have not seen a lot of goal scoring. They've been very solid on the defensive end, but have not been really dynamic in the final third. Graham really is the only one that has been able to find the back of the net with any kind of consistency. And she had the goal the other night against Ferndale and had another great attempt that the keeper saved and then deflected off the post. And then we've also seen McDonald shooting from distance and having some luck there. No wind tonight at Dick Cardinal Stadium. Just a crisp, cool evening. And fans continue to trickle in. Cougars look like they will be kicking off. They'll be wearing their black and gold, and they'll be moving from east to west for the opening half. But as there is no significant wind, that really isn't going to matter. All right, there's the opening whistle for the first 40 minutes. And the ball is sent downfield, and Thomas gets on it to Harrison. Back to Thomas, who lets it roll wide. Crossed into the middle, and off a Seahawk out of bounds for a corner kick. So, good quick opening play. Ball spilled loose. And Thomas is able to put it off the defender and out of bounds. Ball served into the middle. Thomas and the keeper had a foot race to it, and it looks like Thomas beat her to the ball, but it was able to roll by her and off of her, out of bounds, over the end line for a corner kick. Ball kicked out of bounds. That'll be a Cougar throw. And that ball is played back to the keeper, but out of bounds for a corner kick over the touchline. So another corner kick here for the Cougars. Their second in just the opening couple of minutes. Just underway, 38-23 left to go in the first half. And already the second corner kick as the Cougars have put the pressure on the Seahawks. This time it was low, and the Seahawks were able to deflect it. Run down by a Cougar, poked away, but there are two other Seahawks there to make the play and kick it out of bounds. That was Kaylee Chang up there causing problems, and it looks like it probably went off Chang before it rolled out of bounds when the Seahawks were trying to clear the ball out of their own end. Throw in, that's intercepted and knocked away by McDonald. She gets it back, dumps it off to Westfang, who just can't quite run onto it. That's going to be a Seahawk throw in. McDonald there to knock it away again, and now Fitzsimmons is there mucking the ball around, and it knocks out of bounds. That left defender. And that ball threw right into Westfang's chest and went out of bounds. Seahawks throw the ball into the middle. Good control, looking to beat Fitzsimmons down the sideline. Cleaned up nicely by Butcher and knocked out of bounds. And again, knocked away by McDonald off of Westfang's head and out of bounds. Just underway here in the first half. Anacortes Seahawks versus Lakewood Cougars. Nice job by McDonald. And now she puts it ahead to Thomas. It's in a foot race to the ball with the defenders and the keeper, who comes out and smartly puts it away to the other side of the field. But there's Graham in there stealing the ball from the Seahawk defender. And it's given back to her, but just too far out of bounds. So nice idea by, it looks like number 99, which I think is Kalon Buckley. And we will, even though it's Jolie O'Connor in the program, which we believe is the keeper. Simmons has pressure on her, and now it's taken from her. And there's McDonald there to clean it up. Put it out of bounds as the Cougars recover defensively. Intercepted in the middle, out to Harrison. Looked to drop it back, but intercepted. Now the Seahawks have it as they drop it back cleanly to their back line, and now looking to play it forward and wide. Cross coming, controlled. Almost controlled, knocked away. Poked away by Westfang to Harrison as she runs down the sideline in a foot race with the Seahawk defender. She doesn't quite get to it as that ball rolls out of bounds. Knocked down by McDonald to try to get it to Harrison. Couldn't quite get there. Now Buckley chases it down. Thomas able to get it. Poked away from Thomas. This Graham has had a chance to steal, just didn't quite get there. Now it's coming out wide again to the Seahawks on the attack. Tried to poke it ahead to get around by Butcher, but her touch escapes her and the ball rolls over the end line. That's going to be a Cougar goal kick. Zero score. 5 minutes gone here in the first half. Goal kick right to a Seahawk player who shoots And it is just wide. An ambitious attempt from just outside the 18 with the left foot. She hit it crisply, but it did roll just wide. And now it looks like the shooter is calling, we got to stop and play. Looks like she's stretching out or maybe grabbing an ankle. Referee's bent over talking with her, making sure she's okay. And she says she is, and now she's limping. Looks like a cramp, but she's going to keep playing. Good goal kick. Harrison flicks it on, chases it down, troubles the defense. Long ball played ahead, and Ose runs it down. It's squared in front. Nobody there on the far post. Giving it back. McDonald comes back, tracks back, gets it. Now Westbank's tracking back. There Fitzsimmons with the good tackle, and it's out of bounds off of her. Dangerous run that time by the Seahawks. Had there been somebody on the far post, it could have put them up 1-0, but no one was there. Physical challenge by the Anacortes player, knocks the ball away from Ose, coming back on the outside. And again, put into the mixer, but no one is there for the Seahawks. Out to midfield where Harrison tries to hold it up, but it's taken from her. This time, though, it's given right back to Graham. Little 1-2 with Buckley, and Graham's now coming down the right side. The Seahawk defender running stride for stride with her, which we haven't seen very often. Most of the time, we've seen Graham be able to just touch it by the defender and race to the ball and beat the defender, and that time she was unable to do it. But it goes off the defender and out of bounds for a Cougar throw. Short throw over the head of the Cougar. Cleared up by the Seahawks and cleared, but out of bounds, and that's going to be a Cougar throw. Again, thrown over the head of the Cougar player, unable to flick it on. McDonald now is muscling up with the Seahawk offensive player, takes it from her, gets it out to the outside to Graham, who looks to put it into Thomas, but she is beaten to the ball, and the Seahawks are back on the run. She is quickly shut down by Butcher. Ose is over, and she just plays it smartly out of bounds for a Seahawk throw. Seahawk throw in. Cleared by Butcher. Back to her. Cleared again. Controlled now by the Seahawks. And forcing her back. Coach Dick Anderson exhorting his troops to come up and put pressure on the ball. And Westvang runs at the Seahawk player who tries to get it out wide, and she kicks it out of bounds. Cougar throw. Right off the head of the Seahawk defender, out of bounds. So she'll throw it again. This time it's over her head, but out of bounds. So Harrison rolls out, Seahawk throw. Now in soccer, if you throw the ball down the sidelines, but it never comes in bounds, you get to rethrow it. But that one did bounce in a couple of times before it went out. Foul on the Cougars on the outside. I didn't see much contact, but the referee's much closer than I am. And so he is going to call a penalty there, and it will be Seahawk to kick from about the 29-yard line on the football field. Kick the ball low right into the wall. And here come the Cougars on the counter. But that's shut down in the middle of the field. Handball. The linesman said that ball came up and the Seahawk player put her hands up to protect herself and called a handball. Looked like the ball may have got her in the midsection anyway and knocked the wind out of her. But she appears to be okay. And it will be a Cougar throw. Trainer Brandon Stott goes onto the field to talk to her, and now the referee is telling her that she needs to leave the pitch. And Brandon will take a look at her. Maybe the ball got closer to her head than he thought. And with everyone concerned about head injuries and concussions, that Coach Gretchen Hansen now is screaming at the ref, telling him that she knows her players and that she'll know when to sub her off and that he doesn't need to. And the referee is going to come over and talk with her. And instead of being screamed at, he is going to have a conversation with her. So we've got a couple of huddles going on in the field. 27 minutes, 23 seconds left to go in the first half. So the referee blows the whistle. It'll be a Cougar free kick from inside their own third. And Fitzsimmons puts the ball forward in the direction of Harrison. Headed back by Seahawk, tracked down by McDonald, who's triple teamed. And it's poked away. There's Oos keeping the ball clear as it comes right to a defender, Kaylee Chang. And Buckley steps in there, and now that's cleaned up. Well, that's Opplinger. That was cleared by McDonald, but right back to the Seahawks. Pressure forces her to turn around, and that's a missed touch. And Graham has it again, and she is again in a foot race with that same Seahawk defender. Pushes it by her. Keeper comes out. It hits Graham in the forehead. Wide open goal. She's not able to get to it. The ball went too high. She was unable to track it down and get a shot off before she was closed down by the Seahawk defender. Out to Fitzsimmons, who tries to clear it, but only as far as midfield. And now the Seahawks have possession as they are dropping it down and starting their run one more time. Opplinger tracks back. It's that Cougar back line now. They're just playing a little bit of kickball with it. Butcher again. Now she finds Westfang on the outside. Drops to McDonald and kicks it to a running Harrison. But it's knocked down and Westfang secures it. Westfang back to McDonald and puts it in the middle to Thomas. It's a heavy first touch outside. But in the clearance, the Seahawks were unable to clear the ball out of bounds, and it goes off to Seahawk. Out of bounds throw for the Cougars. 15 minutes gone here in the opening half. Nothing. Cougar throw. Ball thrown high to Thomas, who couldn't quite bring it down. She puts it out of bounds, and the Seahawks now will throw it in. Westfang heads it back to a Seahawk, knocks it down, and they look to put it through, and right to a Connor. That does not trouble her at all, and she will be able to punt it now from her own end. A high punt, not very long, takes a huge bounce, but the Seahawks are able to control it. Good defense on the far side, stolen away. The plate a little too touch. Oh, just outside. A little combination by Buckley and Graham as Taylor and Harrison are up top looking for one of those through balls to run onto and maybe get in on the keeper. Again, taken away, looking long, knocked down by the Seahawk. They recover the ball, and now here they come on the attack. Pressure forces them back. Simmons secures it to McDonald, who miscommunicated with Westvang, but now she gets it back. Now Westvang has it. Westvang tries to beat the defender, is unable to. She gets it, puts it right to the middle of the field. A little bit of a heavy touch there. It's poked away by the Cougar defensive midfielder. Harrison has it, drops it to Buckley, gets it out wide to Graham, who's on the run now, down the right flank. It's taken from her, and she is able to knock it out of bounds for a throw-in. That throw-in is stolen away and knocked out of bounds, and it's staying in bounds. The flag does not go up. Kicked in the middle of the field. McDonald looking wide for Westvang. Chases it down. Riley gets her head up, looks into the middle, finds a Cougar, but is unable to control it. Graham tracking back for that one. Gets it, I believe that's Buckley. Back to Graham, who puts it to Harrison, who looks to put it through to Thomas, but gets it to Thomas, but she's unable to control it. And now the Seahawks come on the counter. Looking to switch fields, but no one is there, and Fitzsimmons will just let it roll out of bounds, and that'll be a Cougar throw. Seahawk ball, now they reverse the field. Now they're attacking from the left. Drops it back to the center. Closed down by McDonald. Overruns it, knocks it away. And finally cleaned up there by Buckley. Knocks it out of bounds, and that's going to be a Seahawk throw. Good central defensive work by McDonald and Buckley. Ball deflected to Thomas. Drops it to Buckley, looking outside right. No one is there running, and that ball's just going to roll free. I think she thought Graham might be running, but Graham was back in more of a defensive position. Harrison chases it down, and now here come the Seahawks back, reversing the field, trying to find someone in the middle. Miscontrol. McDonald tries to send it down the sideline to Westvang. Doesn't quite get past the Seahawk. That's knocked down by Oast, controlled by McDonald. Now she's dispossessed, and here come the Seahawks on attack. Looking out wide. There's a Seahawk runner. Butcher's closing her down, and Butcher puts it out of bounds for a Seahawk throw. Great hustle by Butcher on the outside to close down that attack. Halfway gone here in this first half, 19 minutes and 30 seconds to go. No score here at Dick Cardinal Stadium with the Lakewood Cougars taking on the Anacortes Seahawks. Ball is crossed. McDonald boots it out of bounds, and it's cleared away. Throw in, knocked away by the Cougars. Kicked back by the Seahawks, kicked away by the Cougars. No control, really. And there's a good challenge by Buckley to Westvang. Back to Buckley, who looks for Harrison and Thomas long, but is unable to get it to them. That ball rolls out of bounds. It's going to be a Cougar throw for Fitzsimmons. We're going to have a stoppage, quick stoppage in play as we have a substitute now coming on the field for Anacortes. Okay, back in play now that the sub is off the field. Off the Seahawk forehead, run down by McDonald, who puts it out wide for Graham. Wouldn't have been there. Bounces back to Butcher, who puts it out wide. This time Graham is there and controls it. Puts it through to Thomas. Knocked away. Seahawk offense on control. Butcher there. Stops that foray and kicks it out of bounds off the Seahawks. Ball thrown down the side, and it's just going to roll out of bounds over the end line, and it's going to be a goal kick. Ball rolls all the way free to Butcher, who clears it, but she comes up and challenges the Seahawk player, and they put it by her, but it also rolls over the end line, and that will be a goal kick for the Cougars. So Butcher took a little bit of a chance to come up and close down that offensive player for Anacortes, leaving someone open behind her, relying on Kiana Ose to come over and play, but they didn't have to make a play because the ball was too heavy and rolled out of bounds. Opplinger steps in there. And that's Butcher trying to clear it to midfield to Thomas. He's unable to do so. Now Fitzsimmons has it. It's McDonald who tries to put it out here to Westvang, but just is unable to get her the ball. Ball kicked into McDonald's stomach. She's able to knock it down and get it. Gets it out. But Buckley not able to control it. The big switch. And that's knocked away by Graham. And of course playing a little one-touch in the offensive end. But can't get it outside. And that ball rolls out for a Cougar throw. Ball into Harrison. A couple of Seahawks were there. They are able to secure it. Ball was a little too heavy. Westvang knocks it away. And of course able to recover. And Fitzsimmons shuts that attack down. Good challenge by Fitzsimmons, but the ball is back to Anacortes, puts it into the middle. That's cleaned up by Butcher as it goes out of bounds. And that ball is out for the Seahawks off of Fitzsimmons. And the Seahawks will have a throw deep in our end right in front of us. 0-0 tie still here. Just under 14 minutes to go in the first half of this game between the Cougars and the Anacortes Seahawks. Ball is centered and it's one-touched in, and it's just off the post. O'Connor was beat, but it hit the post and the Cougars are able to clear it. So the one touch off the centering pass just finds the woodwork, and the Seahawks are denied. So the score remains 0-0. 13 minutes now to go in the first half. Stolen by Graham, but then kicked back in. Anacortes is on their most, and that ball rolls out of bounds. Their most aggressive and longest offensive foray into the Cougar final third. But that ball rolls out of bounds. Cougar goal kick. We'll see if they can regain a little bit of offensive momentum, or at least continue to play 50-50 balls in the midfield. Ball's popped high. Harrison's running onto it. Beaten to it by the Anacortes defender. Now Westbank's tracking it down. Fitzsimmons gets it and knocks it away. Thomas now attacking and knocks down the defender and gets called for the foul. Aggressive challenge, but probably a little too physical, as she got more player than she did ball. Off the free kick, the Cougars were able to control it, play it up the field, but that ball was just a little too far for Westfang, and it's out of bounds. Seahawk throw. We have another sub in now for the Seahawks. Westfang puts it in the middle to Buckley, tries to get it forward to Harrison. It's knocked away. That's going to be a Cougar throw. Oh, Anacortes throw. Now it'll be a Cougar throw. Fitzsimmons with the throw down the sidelines. It comes to Harrison's feet, rolls out of bounds. So Anacortes quickly throws it back in, poked away. Buckley knocks it away that time. Thomas is going to joust with it, unable to bring it down. Controlled, and that ball is put to the outside looking for Graham. And of course recovers it, but Graham gets it. She puts it ahead to Thomas. Thomas in a foot race for the keeper, and the keeper knocks it off Thomas and out of bounds for an Anacortes throw-in. Ball looks like it may have caught up and hit Thomas in the face, and Thomas is going to be subbed out, it looks like. That'll be number 18, Heavenly Brown, into the game. The senior defender going in for Thomas. At least she's listed as a defender. Now she's going to be playing up front with Miranda Harrison. Seahawk throw, surrounded by Cougars, has to turn around and drop it back. Wildly kicked into the middle of the field where McDonald has it. Looks to play it out to Westfang, but doesn't quite get wide enough. And there's Ose with it, and she gets it out wide to Opliger. And here come the Seahawks on the attack again. Well, that was Graham, not Opliger. Seahawks now switch the ball to the other side, look into the middle. And there's a Anacortes striker there, knocks it down, not able to do anything with it. And it's cleared by a Cougar. Shot from distance, and that ball is wide. But O'Connor, not sure if it was going wide, pushes it out of bounds, and that's going to be an Anacortes quarter kick. We saw the Cougars have a little bit of trouble against Ferndale defending set pieces, as one of their goals came off a corner kick, off the kick, and one timed into the back of the net. The other time, after a missed clearance, the ball was recirculated back into the mixer and scored. So we'll see if the Cougars defend this set piece a little bit better. That ball was a free runner. She turned her body and lifted her leg, and the ball went out of bounds. Nowhere close to the goal. So that'll be a goal kick for the Cougars. 7 minutes to go here in the first half. 0-0. This game is Anacortes has seen Anacortes with certainly the better chances, but no goals to show for it. There's Harrison clipping the heels of the Anacortes player, Kayla Stevens. So free kick for the Seahawks. Ball rolls all the way through. O'Connor gets it. She rolls it quickly out to Graham, who splits a pair of defenders, beats another one, but can't beat the third. So Seahawks on the attack, getting it out wide, looking to play a little two-man game, but that second pass is not to hit anyone, and the Cougars clean it up and put it out of bounds. Cougars knock away the throw-in. Harrison tries to control it, and here comes Heavenly Brown chasing that ball down, forces the turnover to Buckley. Harrison recovers it, gets it to Brown, who maintains control, but is unable to get it out to a defender. She continues to run, though, and she puts enough pressure on the Anacortes player that she just kicks it out of bounds. That's a Cougar throw. Great work by Heavenly Brown, just chasing the ball, challenging the players, and forcing them to make a play instead of letting them pick out a person and just throw it. The ball came into Buckley, who tried to play it down the sideline. No one was there. Rolls out. Seahawk throw. 5 minutes left to go here in the first half. Nothing score. Ball has come to Graham, and she shoots the left footer from distance. It's right on frame, but does not trouble the keeper, who just plays it on a couple of hops. She punts the ball, gets a big hop, but Butcher puts it back the other way. Ball comes out to Westfang, who plays it long, but it's knocked down by the Anacortes defender. Heavenly Brown's in there trying to muck it up, but she's able to get it to a player for the Seahawks, who then puts it out of bounds, and that's going to be a Cougar throw. Under 4 minutes now here in the first half. Nothing tie. Throw down the sideline is missed by both the Seahawk defender and Harrison, who's running towards the keeper, seeing if they can force another mistake. Ball goes by Heavenly Brown, but this time Jasmine Graham steps in, knocks it away. Harrison gets it, is able to drop it, shot from distance, and it's played in the air by the Anacortes keeper, Claire Schnabel. Again, long punt. Butcher knocks it down, but right to the feet of the Anacortes player. McDonald's back in there now, turning her around back. Buckley chasing the ball, forcing Anacortes to make a mistake. And they're trying to play their two-touch, and it just does not work as that ball was touched poorly. Cougars are able to intercept it, and it goes back to the keeper. That time the keeper played it upfield, and Anacortes could not control it. And it goes out of bounds for a Cougar throw. Long throw in. Both McDonald and Harrison chase it down. Neither one of them get to it. Cleared by the Seahawks. And now they're getting organized as they start on the attack. But Opliger does a great job of turning the Anacortes players sideways and stays with her, knocks it out of bounds, and forces a throw in. Under 2 minutes now to go in the first half. Remember, the final 2 minutes kept on the field by the referee, so we don't know how much time he has given for the injuries, and that blast is from distance, and that is wide and well off the mark. We know we've had a couple of injury stoppages. We know that he went over and talked with the Anacortes coach, Gretchen Hansen, who was shrilly screaming at him about making him take a player out of the game. And we know that there have been a couple of long balls out, but we don't know how much or if he has stopped the clock for any of those events. So we'll just have to wait and see. Harrison has the ball, holds it up, drops it to Buckley, who tries to find Westfang running, but it's behind her and out of bounds for a Seahawk throw. Quickly down the field, looking to the middle, but not there. Fitzsimmons jousts for it, misses it, but comes right back to her. And she does a great job of shielding the ball away. And Oos does a great job of running off the Anacortes player, just using her body, shielding her away from the ball, and letting the ball run over the touchline. And that's going to be a goal kick. Fitzsimmons is out-dueled for that one. Ball's dropped in the middle, but there's McDonald cleaning it up. She's able to touch it out to Westfang. Fights with the Seahawk, kicks it out of bounds. That'll be Seahawk throw. McDonald trying to run her off the ball. Oh, and it's in the net. Throw in off the head of a Seahawk player. McDonald and the Seahawk player were running towards the goal together, and she was able to slip the ball in near post and putting them ahead 1-0. So 1-0 Seahawks in the final minutes of the first half. Here comes Graham one-on-one, and the recovery is there, and she is forced out of bounds. Seahawk throw. Referee knows not much time left, continues to look at his watch. But we are in the waning minutes of the first half where Anacortes just went ahead 1-0. Anacortes on the attack again. I would guess if the Cougars clear it or knock it out of bounds, the referee will blow the whistle for the half. He will not stop the Anacortes attack. That ball is punched free to Harrison, and she controls it, looks outside. And again, Cougars are not getting a chance to go on the attack. Rather, they will just clear it. So a late goal by the Seahawks gives the Anacortes High School a 1-0 lead over the Lakewood Cougars. And after one half of play, we're going to take 7 minutes as a break, and then we will come back and we will bring you the second half run. So at the end of the first period, or the first half, Anacortes 1, Lakewood Cougars 0. Well, we are just about ready to start the second half. Referees are back on the field. The Seahawks are up and standing and getting loose. And the Cougars should be just now coming out of the locker room back onto the field. So we're about to start the second half run. Cougars trail 1-0, 1-0, as the Seahawks were able to scoot a ball in past O'Connor on the near post just before the end of the first half in what used to be called stoppage time or injury time. Now we just call it added time. Anacortes had by far the more dangerous chances. Not only did they score the goal, but they hit one off the woodwork. But Lakewood did have several shots on goal. They were able to trouble the Anacortes defense, but were really not able to trouble the Anacortes goalie. We have seen Jasmine Graham in all of the games that we've seen over the last 2 years really have her way on the right flank, and this time she has not kind of met her match in the left-hand defender who has equaled her speed and her touch. We really haven't seen her get anything going. Angela McDonald has been a standout in the midfield, keeping things tidy there with Kalon Buckley. And the three defensive backs of Lauren Butcher, Kiana Ose, and Aurora Fitzsimmons have been very tough as well. Riley Westfang and Amy Opliger round out the midfield with Harrison and Thomas up top. Westfang's had a couple of opportunities to get going, but we just have not seen that touch outside to her. She's either gone inside, the ball's gone outside, or vice versa. That ball is kicked out of bounds. That's going to be a Cougar throw. And we'll see as we're just underway here in the second half, Cougars leading 1-0, trailing 1-0. One of the things that we have noticed so far this evening, we'll see if it continues, but both teams, when they throw the ball in, have not been able to control it. The first throw for the Cougars over the head of Harrison and not controlled. And this throw in by the Seahawks now is controlled by the Cougars. Graham picked up her head before she had control of the ball, looking to get some joy down the right flank, and her touch deceives her. Here we go again, the throw in. Graham steps in, knocks it away. Butcher puts it in the middle of the field to Thomas. is not able to get there. Now Westfang controls it, drops to McDonald, and looks for Harrison on the run, who puts it to Thomas, who's in on goal. Thomas has it. She puts it in the back of the net, and it's a goal! Cougars are on the board! Layla Thomas didn't give up. Beat the Anacortes defender. The keeper came out, beat the keeper, rolled it into the back of the net, and we are tied at the 38-minute mark. 1-1. We're a new ball game. So as we were saying, Anacortes threw the ball in, and it was knocked away, recovered by McDonald, or Butcher, I think it was McDonald, and she sent it forward, and the Cougars score. So we'll keep an eye on that, as most goal kicks and throw-ins have basically been turnovers. Some mishit by the Cougars. Anacortes recovers, and here they come on the attack. So good counter-attack there for the Cougars to tie it up. That ball goes flying through, and it's going to go over the touchline. That's going to be a Cougar goal kick. So again, no control by the Cougars, goes back to the Seahawks. They drop it back to the keeper, Harrison running onto it, trying to force a mistake. and she kicks it to the center of the field, where McDonald gets it to Opplinger, but dropped back to the Seahawks. Ball's pushed outside, but just a little bit too far for Digweed, the left wing. Long throw down the sidelines, controlled by the Seahawks. But Harrison is able to head it off Digweed and go out of bounds. Another long throw by Graham. Thomas drops it to Harrison, but she's unable to get onto it as the Seahawks again kick it out of bounds. So both these throw-ins have found the heads of Seahawks. They haven't been able to control it, and the Cougars have continued to advance it down the side. Ball thrown into the middle over the head of everybody right to the Seahawks, but a player kicked it right at Buckley, who dropped it to McDonald, who sent that shot wide. So just underway in the second half. We've had 2 goals scored basically in 4 minutes, in the last 2 minutes of the first half for the Seahawks, and the first 2 minutes of the game of the second half for the Cougars. 1-1 tie. Here come the Seahawks on the attack. Butcher does a nice job of tackling the ball and putting it out of bounds and stopping Digweed out here on the left-hand side. Throw in, again, taken away by Graham, but she's going to call Harrison offsides. Nice step in by Graham. Again, that kick right to a Cougar. Opplinger knocked down, put out wide. There's Westvang. Now Westvang and Fitzsimmons go to close her down into the middle. Off a Seahawk, but rolls right to O'Connor, who secures it about the edge of the goal box. Punted to Graham, who flicks it on off a Seahawk. Harrison chases it, not able to get it. Now Graham is chasing it, pokes it away. And the referee's going to give the ball to Anacortes for the throw. Again, the throw-in knocked away by Graham, knocked to a Seahawk, down to Thomas. Drops to McDonald's, who puts it long down for Westvang, who's running onto it. Just a little bit too far for her. And again, we've seen that a little bit too much tonight, is they either underestimating the pace of their passes or overestimating the speed of Westvang as she is moving down the left-hand side. Ball thrown in off the Seahawk, out of bounds Cougar throw. So we see the trend continue of the ball being thrown in and controlled by the other team. That time was to Harrison. She controlled it, got it back, tried to dump it to Thomas, was unable to do so. Get the ball to McDonald, tried to square it to Graham, intercepted. Now pushed ahead to the Seahawk, but too far ahead, so Fitzsimmons has it. Back to McDonald in midfield, looking for Westvang, this time not far enough outside with not enough pace on it. Buckley has it. This time it was on to McDonald, who gives it to Thomas, who's just too far for her. And now picked up by the Anacortes keeper. Ose with the header. And Ose steps in, now is unable to clear it, but she's able to recover the ball, and she puts it long, and Fitzsimmons lets it roll, and it's a goal kick, as the Anacortes player could not just quite track it down. 32 minutes and 33 seconds left to go here in the second half. We're all tied up at 1. Cougars are going from west to east. or left to right on your screen. That time Graham was able to put it by the defender, and now she gets ahead of steam, and she's running, but that Anacortes defender runs right with her, puts it into the middle. Thomas can't get her. She's shielded off. Harrison running to the far post won't get to her, but that time we saw Graham actually get some space, but the Anacortes defender, Aaron Kennedy, was able to track her down. Fitzsimmons takes on two Seahawks, is able to get a Cougar throw. Thrown to the Seahawks. She heads it out of bounds, so Fitzsimmons will throw it again. Again, thrown to the Seahawks. She can't control it. Knocked down to McDonald, but she kicks it to a Seahawk, who now they are coming on the attack. Opplinger gets her head to it. Unfortunately, it goes backwards. Ose and Butcher trying to knock it down and clear it, can't do so. Now Buckley's chasing it, and the referee, the line judge, put her hand up for offsides. Then he took his flag down, but it switches and it's put wide. That was interesting that the official raised the flag for offsides and then pulled it down, and the official allowed it to play on. A goal kick is put off the head of a Seahawk, and they're going to let it roll out of bounds again. Midfield to Thomas, goes to a Seahawk, and here they come back on the attack. Ball cleaned up by Fitzsimmons, but right to a Seahawk. Drops it. Westfang with the challenge. Steps in. They're not able to get the ball back. Win the ball. Graham does a nice job of knocking it down. Butcher with a little bit of a miss hit. Came out to Graham wide, and she's able to just kind of poke it free with the outside of her right foot. Get it out of bounds and restop. Harrison came and put pressure on it. Now Westfang has it. Drops it to McDonald, who's going to looks back for Fitzsimmons. Puts it out off a Seahawk. It'll be a Cougar throw. 12 minutes gone now. 28 minutes left to go in the half. Cougars and Seahawks tied at 1. Goals coming right at the end of the first half and right at the start of the second half. On a cool, crisp night here at Dick Cardinal Stadium. Seahawk plays the run, keeps it in, and is knocked out of bounds. Now it's knocked back into the middle. Graham heads it out. Deflected off a Cougar, controlled by a Cougar, but poked free. And O'Connor's able to secure it. Graham is able to get a touch on it. Now Harrison's running it down. Goes to ground, but puts a through ball, looks like, to Thomas. The Anacortes player clears it. Harrison was there, but was just not able to get to it. But it'll be a Cougar throw. Throw in to McDonald. Not able to control it. Opplinger's there to defend the Seahawk. Westfang drops it back to Buckley. Buckley put it back in the middle, and it was cleared out by the Seahawks. Cougar throw. Clearance by the Seahawks. Butcher has it, has time, takes it to the outside, puts it down the sideline, but unfortunately it goes out of bounds. Wasn't quite able to get her foot and hips around to. That was a foul throw. She's got to bring the ball back all the way over her head. That time she just kind of pushed it forward, more like a chest pass in basketball. I've seen some pretty wonky throws this year, but that's the first one we've seen as a foul throw. Graham throws it long over the head of Buckley, who's being shielded off by a Seahawk, which I really think is obstruction because she was making no attempt to play the ball, nor did she have a chance to play the ball. She can't just stand in someone's way as they're trying to get it. Well, you can stand in their way, but you can't zigzag back and forth with them like she just did. So long throw to Graham into Harrison, flicks it on her behind her. Nice play by Harrison to flick it over her head, but no one was there running on. The Seahawks cleared it. Fitzsimmons now puts it back into the center. That's where Buckley is. Gets the ball to Thomas, out to Graham. Graham has her head up, but she puts it to Thomas, who's had a foot race with the keeper, and the keeper is able to get there just a half step before Thomas. So good read by Claire Schnabel, the Anacortes keeper, but just a half a step later, and Thomas might have had something going on to the goal to get her second goal of the night. Graham again puts it forward to Thomas, who puts it back outside to Graham, but she's just not fast enough to get to that ball. And Anacortes is able to recover it, although she kicks it right to Opplinger, and Opplinger now to Buckley to McDonald, who tries from distance, and was a scary moment there for the Anacortes keeper because that ball was going to be over her head. If that ball could have dipped in under the crossbar, she would have scored. But just over the crossbar and all the way to the scoreboard. Into the game now for the Cougars is Heavenly Brown, and for Layla Thomas. Thomas took a hard spill going after that ball with the Anacortes keeper, and she's acting like she's a little stiff tonight. We also see number 4, Kaylee Chang, who's been a stalwart in the midfield for them this year, limping on the sidelines. Not sure if that happened tonight and I didn't see it, or if it happened before tonight, but she's been replaced by Amy Opplinger, and Amy's done a nice job tonight in that midfield role. We've seen her play very well so far tonight. That's Buckley and Graham trying to play a little give and go. Oh, and that ball the whole ball is supposed to go out of bounds, and that was not the whole ball. 2 subs now for Anacortes. But I think that linesman anticipated that call and didn't think Graham could get her foot around it, which she did. But it's out of bounds. Anacortes throw, and if things hold the way they have, they're going to throw it to the Cougars. It'll be Cougar ball anyway. So we'll see if the Seahawks continue to throw the ball into the Cougars. They do to Graham, to Heavenly Brown, who drops it back to Graham, who puts it on into the middle for Harrison to run onto, but too far for her. Harrison's pressing the front line as best she can, but if she goes in too far, she'll be called for offsides, which we've seen happen several times for her tonight. McDonald steps in, takes the ball, and from about 30 yards out, puts one on frame, but right at the Anacortes keeper. And here comes Anacortes back on the attack. Westfang steps in, Fitzsimmons 6 steps in, and The Anacortes player is trying to beat Fitzsimmons down the side. Can't. Pulls it back. Kicks it off a Cougar player, who knocks it down right to another Cougar who puts it out of bounds. Anacortes really pushing up all their players. They have 8 players pressing forward now, with 2 standing on the half line. Their keeper's all the way outside her own 18, really pressing forward, daring the Cougars to get something in the counterattack. If the Cougars can pop the ball free to either Harrison or to Heavenly Brown, they might be able to put it through those Anacortes defensive center backs, who are basically standing next to each other in terms of their proximity on the 50-yard line. They're about 20 yards apart. Good physical challenge there. And if they can get the ball past those guys to Harrison, Harrison might be able to put it through to Brown, but it's going to have to take 2 perfect passes to Harrison and then to Brown to be able to beat the center backs, and then for Brown to get it and secure it and get her head up before the keeper comes. Cross in. Graham turns her back, knocks it away. Ball comes off the official, and now let's see if we get the counterattack. It's out to Graham. Graham has her head up, looking down the sidelines for Harrison, or for Heavenly Brown. Off the defender, out of bounds. That's Jessica Oliver. And the Anacortes switch. She tries to play it, and right there is Riley Westvang, knocked out of bounds. Good defensive recovery by Westvang. That ball is centered, but it's going to go off the Cougar defender and out of bounds over the touchline, and that's going to be a corner kick. This game is unfolding now in the second half, much the way the first half did, where an occasional Cougar counterattack troubles the Anacortes defense, but for the most part, it is kicked around in the midfield, with neither team really having a majority of possession, and then Anacortes organizes and gets a solid attack going about once every 2 or 3 minutes. We are under the 20-minute mark now, 19:35 left to go in the match, and it's a 1-1 tie, and it's into the middle of the box, and Anacortes striker's trying to get her foot on it, shielded off by the Cougars, and O'Connor jumps on it and will bring it out to punt. So O'Connor punts it down the sideline, and Nick Anderson is going to sub Layla Thomas back in for Heavenly Brown. So good run by Heavenly Brown. Now Thomas back in, the goal scorer. She's going to look for a second one tonight. The ball is off of Buckley to Harrison, who touches it out to Westvang. Here come the Cougars on the attack. Westvang with her head up, looking for Graham in the center of the field. It's cut off by the Seahawks, and they now control, coming back the other way on the attack. Seahawks put it long down the right side, looking to get it in the middle. Oos is there, shuts her down. It's dropped. Shot from distance, and it is wide. O'Connor looks like she had it covered up, but she did sprawl, and it did go wide. Referee stops play. 18 minutes left to go in the contest. And now he's waving trainer Brandon Stott onto the field. If she has to come out, we see that Heavenly Brown is putting on an orange jersey, which indicates to me that she might be the backup keeper tonight. But we'll have to see. I don't want to speculate as to whether or not she'll have to come out of the game. She's able to put both hands in the air, but I don't know what the question is. Stick them up or reach for the stars, or how does your shoulder feel? Don't know quite what's going on there. Heavenly Brown has donned the orange jersey. And it looks like Coach Anderson is taking the goalie gloves off of O'Connor and is going to hand them to Heavenly Brown. Is now giving the orange jersey to Angela McDonald. Who is bringing the orange jersey to, it looks like Layla Thomas is going to be the keeper. And so she puts the gloves on and the orange jersey on. And with 18 minutes to go, now there's 16 minutes, so we've got a couple of extra minutes of stoppage time for that injury. Clock says 16 minutes exactly now, as we're going to put the ball back in play. That's too bad. Thomas, the goal scorer, was really putting pressure on the Seahawk defense. To have to put her in the back now is too bad, as Heavenly Brown comes out and knocks that ball away as Graham continues the run. Put in the middle, Buckley knocks it down, but right to a Seahawk. Buckley continues her run, gets it back, puts it out to Westfang, who gives it to McDonald, back down the sideline for Westfang. And again, that connection just not there tonight. The Anacortes keeper comes out and kicks it up the sideline right to Fitzsimmons, drops it to McDonald, who goes back to Westfang, who this time gets it, but is called offsides. So she was in an offside position when the ball was played to her, even though she was onsides when she got it. So offsides on Westfang. Be a free kick for the Seahawks. 15 minutes now on the scoreboard clock left to go in the match. Kick was right to Buckley, couldn't quite control it. And here comes Anacortes on the attack. Pushes it down the sideline. It's just going to roll. They're not going to be able to get to it, and it's rolling out of bounds. And that's going to be a goal kick. Another Anacortes substitute. Here we are, 14:29 now. Left to go in the contest. 1-1. As there was a flurry of goals scored in about 4 minutes at the end of the first half and the start of the second half. Ball put up to midfield. Westfang's running, but again, they're just not connecting on that left-hand side tonight. It's been very difficult for the Cougars to find any kind of joy down the flanks. They've had most of their success attacking through the middle, but they continue to try to keep the Anacortes defense spread out. Opplinger knocks it away. McDonald can't quite get it, but the Cougars are defending in numbers. They have 6 back, and Graham steps in and knocks that one away. And Buckley kicks it. Here comes Brown. We're chasing it down to the outside. Quite can't get to it. So Seahawk throw in, and again, right to Graham, who gets the ball to Brown. She can't run it down, so it's back to the Seahawks as they're running. Missed touch there to Buckley. Gets it to McDonald, who puts it up to Brown, who gives it back to McDonald. She looks for Westfang, makes the connection. Oh, this time Westfang can't quite get it. But at least the pass was accurate, and Westfang and McDonald were on the same page. That ball is cleared right to Buckley, but she knocks it down. It's to the Seahawks, and here they come on the run again. Stolen back, McDonald playing forward to Harrison. Looking to run. And now the Seahawks will play outside. Seahawks try to switch the field and play it backwards as they look to mount up their attack. Ball goes all the way through and intercepted by Graham. Just chases it down. And the Seahawk player, under pressure by Brown and Graham, puts it out of bounds. Under 12 minutes now to go in the match by the scoreboard. I know there'll be quite a bit of extra time added, at least 3 minutes, for the stoppage with the O'Connor injury. Ball is knocked down. Brown gets into it with the Seahawk player. And now Brown is subbed out, and that is number 50, Sarah Skiergaard, also listed as a defender going forward. That's a foul on the Seahawk player, not on Brown. 11 minutes exactly now on the scoreboard, 1-1 here, going into the final 10 minutes of the contest. Cougars looking for that go-ahead goal. Ost beats her to the ball, able to get it to Skirgrud. Tracking back is Buckley, does a nice job of making a mess of that Seahawk idea. Ball into the middle, now trying to play backwards. McDonald runs it down, and she's able to poke it free, and now it's cleared by Oss. The Seahawks put it into the middle of the net, miss hit, and Layla Thomas secures the ball. That was not a back pass. That was a mishit. Now, in soccer, about 20 years ago, they made a rule that you could not pass the ball back to the goalie and have the goalie pick it up with their hands. The goalie must play any kind of back pass with the feet with her feet. She can use her hands if the ball is headed back to her or chested back to her, but not if it is played back with her feet. That time, even though the ball was played by a foot, it was a mishit. And there's Graham turning around the defender. She gets tripped, and now it's going to be a free kick for the Cougars. And so that ball was mishit, which allows Thomas to secure it with her hands. Not a back pass. So McDonald is going to stand over this one. We've seen her already put a couple of shots on goal from distance. The referee's going to have to come over and back up the Anacortes player 10 yards. And he's going to count off 10 yards instead of just looking at the fact that she is on the 19-yard line of the football field. And they still have those. Actually, they're only 9 yards away because they're stopped on the 11. McDonald puts it on goal, and no Cougar is there to knock it in. The keeper gets it. Had she not made that play, it was on target, so that is definitely a shot on goal. McDonald knocks it down, now plays it out wide to Graham in a foot race on the outside, wins it, and goes down again. This time there is no foul, and they're going to call Seahawk throw. Probably just the feet getting tangled, probably not enough contact to call a foul, but when you watch with Cougar eyes, you want that foul called. 7 minutes, 45 seconds left to go here in the contest. Buckley gets it to McDonald, who puts it to Harrison, and just a step beyond her, and it goes through. Oh, and they're going to call that off of the Seahawks, and so it's going to be a corner kick. Now the referee is stopping the clock. and having a conversation with Buckley. Not sure what that's about. Now the referee's having a conversation with Nick Anderson. And again, this will cause more time to be in extra time. So he blows the whistle. Ball comes in from the corner. It's cleared. And here come the Seahawks. They have two ladies running. There are 4 Cougar defenders back. And it looks like that was a long touch. We'll see what they're going to call. Looks like they're going to call this a corner kick. Subbing now in is back. Heavenly Brown is back in for Sarah Skurgerud. As this is a corner kick for the Seahawks. Under 6 minutes now on the scoreboard. All 11 players are now defending this corner kick for the Cougars. And it is knocked down. It is cleared out to midfield. And now it's sent back in. And just rolls harmlessly into Thomas. So good clearance on the corner kick. Not such a great decision by the Anacortes center back to just put it back in. I bet she thought if she kicked it 30 yards that somebody would definitely be there, but it didn't. It just rolled all the way through to Thomas, who punted it to midfield and now is out, and it's off. Cougars putting it out of bounds. But Seahawks again throw it right to Jasmine Graham. Follows it up. Looking to switch the field. Harrison tracking back. Missed touch there. That's McDonald trying to put it to Harrison. Doesn't quite get it. Here come the Cougars on the run. Buckley now tracking back. Defending. That's Opplinger and Buckley playing tough in the center and midfield along with McDonald. And that ball is put out of bounds. So Cougar goal kick over the touchline. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in this tied contest at 1-1. Cougars are in a little bit of hurt here right now as they have their backup goalkeeper, Layla Thomas, in. As Jolene O'Connor got hurt at the 18-minute mark. So far they've played 15 minutes and she's touched the ball a couple of times, but really hasn't had anything difficult for her to save. Graham puts it off the Seahawk, out of bounds for a Cougar throw. Graham sneaking up the sideline. The referee points her backwards, so she backs up about 5 yards. Then she runs up that same 5 yards. That ball was thrown off the chin of a Seahawk, and now it will be Cougar throw about 10 yards further up the field. Thrown down the sidelines towards Harrison, drops down to Heavenly Brown. That's played to McDonald, just touch deceives her. And now here comes Anacortes on the run, pushing the ball ahead, but there's Butcher to clean it up and pop it wide. The Seahawks are able to get down to it, but Fitzsimmons is able to get out. Oh, she cuts it back, drops it, squares it. Looks like she's loading one up from distance. She does, but that bounces safely into the hands of Thomas. Thomas slows play down a little bit, gets out to the top of the 18, punts it right to a Seahawk, but Heavenly Brown pokes it away. Played out wide, and that Seahawk runner is not going to be able to track it down on the wing as that ball rolls out of bounds. The scoreboard clock is going to stop at 2 minutes, and so the final 2 minutes plus is going to be kept on the watch of the official. So we are in the final 2 minutes of the game. Not sure how much stoppage time he'll put on there, or injury time, because we know we lost at least 2 minutes when on the Jolene Cox substitution and injury stoppage. Ball chested down by McDonald, cleared, and kicked back out. Kicked back into the mixer by the Seahawk, but there's Layla Thomas grabbing it. And again, running out to the top of the 18, letting her defense clear a little bit before she punched the ball, which she does. Misplayed by the Seahawks. Harrison gets it, knocks it away, but the Anacortes keeper is able to come out and clear it before it troubles her. Oppenlinger steps in now, gets it, puts it outside to Graham, who puts it out of bounds. So nice play by Harrison, track the ball down, force the long kick. Nice play by Opplinger to knock the ball away, and that wasn't Graham, that was Heavenly Brown trying to run it down. 18, not 10. Graham gets her head to it to McDonald. Is unable to control it, but then she steals it back, knocks it away. Anacortes is now really trying to push the ball forward, and they're wildly playing it down the flanks. That's the second time in a row they've put the ball out of bounds, trying to force the issue up the field against the Cougars. Under 2 minutes to go tonight. Referee keeping the last bit of time on the field. That ball's put ahead, and Harrison's running, but it will roll to the keeper for Anacortes. She punts it. Buckley's able to get it on her head, but it's controlled by Anacortes. But then she steps in and gets it back. Wildly played forward and knocked away by Fitzsimmons. Played long down the sideline. No joy there as it rolls over the touchline. So that goal kick comes out. And Buckley steps in and knocks it out of bounds. The Anacortes sideline keeps yelling, quickly, quickly. So Nick Anderson runs over and grabs the ball for them and gives it to them quickly. Good sportsmanship there by Coach Anderson. Teed up from distance, and that is just kicked out. And the referee has blown the whistle, and that is ending the game. Now, I don't know if they're playing a overtime period or if they go to penalty shootouts or if the game is over. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. From the look of the parents in the stands, they're packing their bags. I think they think it's over. And the Cougars just cheered Anacortes and waved to them, so that is the game. So here we are at Dick Cardinal Stadium. Anacortes won, Lakewood won. A flurry of goals, one scored at the end of the first half in stoppage time by the Seahawks, and the other one scored right at the start of the second half by Layla Thomas, tied it at 1. So tomorrow night we will be bringing you volleyball from the Lakewood High School Gymnasium, and then we had a soccer game scheduled with Linden Christian on Wednesday night. That will not be played. Instead, the next time we'll be with you then is Thursday night, when we have the volleyball match, and I know we play Anacortes in volleyball tomorrow, and then we have, I believe, Linden Christian in volleyball on Thursday night. So, thanks to our camera people tonight. Appreciate Cindy Parlin on the PA. I'm Dale Leach saying we'll see you tomorrow night on the live stream. Thanks for joining us, everybody.